In this lecture, I am going to talk about a binary phase shift keying demodulator using correlator. Instead of using a matched filter, I am going to employ a correlator for demodulating the binary phase shift keying digital modulation scheme. Okay, and one can ask what is the difference between the matched filter and the correlator receiver. Okay, so it is not the same. The matched filter operation is not the same as correlator operation. Okay, now however, if you confine your attention to the output at t equal to capital T or t is equal to 0, or whatever your output sampling instant is designed to be, then we can regard the two operation or two method can be equivalent. That means you take a matched filter. Let's say the input is s of t and it is matched with the input signal s of minus t, and here the sum, let me write on the general one. This is s of capital T minus t conjugate, and this is output of the matched filter. What is output of the matched filter? It is equal to s of t convolved with the complex impulse response of the matched filter t minus capital T. And if you write an integration, convolve this convolution by an convolution integral, then s of tau times let me call for the time being this is g of t for to make this simple life, g of t minus tau d tau. Okay, so this is your u of t. Now let me set t equal to capital T or t equal to 0. Then what will happen? Your u of 0, or if you put substitute t, then this is s of tau. This is g of tau times d tau. This is the output of your matched filter. Matched filter at t equal to 0. Similarly, if I use a correlator essentially multiplies the two signal. So you take s of t and multiply the locally transmitted or locally generated the transmitted signal s of t. Okay, therefore let's say complex conjugate of this. So this is your u of t. Therefore your u of t is going to be, you first multiply these two signals s of t times s of t and then integrate and dt. Now you take this equation, let's say 1, and this equation 2, and both are equal provided the output of the matched filter is sampled at t equal to 0. That means what? The output waveforms are not the same. See, this u of t and this u of t and this u of t both are not the same. Not the same. The output of the matched filter and the output of the correlator are not the same, but the waveform value at the sampling instant of interest can be made the same. Therefore the sampled value will be same. Now this is the wait a minute, sampled value will be the same, meaning you take this correlator, you sample at t equal to 0, sample at t equal to 0, then u of 0 you will get it. Okay, so u of 0, and this after all is a dummy variable. Okay, you can change this. So instead of t I can use tau here or some other variable. Here also you can put some other variable and d tau. So this is s of tau times s conjugate of tau times d tau. Therefore the output waveforms are not the same, but the waveform value at the sampling instant of interest can be made the same. So that is a difference between correlator and the matched filter. So essentially they are not the same, okay, by detail wise, but the moment you sample the waveform, then the sampled value will be same. Sampled value can be made the same, okay. But in general, matched filter operation is totally different from the correlator operation. They are not the same. Now let us talk about correlator receiver. So this is the difference between matched filter and the correlator receiver. Now let me talk about correlator receiver. Correlator receiver for BPSK signal or any antipodal signal, or I can say antipodal signal. It doesn't matter. Therefore, we designated our sampling instant is t equal to 0. In this case, sampling instant equal to t equal to 0. Then we have appreciated before that this value is nothing but the correlation of the received signal with the transmitted signal. Therefore, the received signal sample at t equal to 0, it is going to be your received signal u of t convolved with the transmitted signal s of t and dt. This signal is locally generated. This transmitted signal is locally generated. Locally generated signal, okay, and this is the received signal. So let me call this as equation number 1. So we can as well replace the matched filter operation by a correlator or correlation operation. The advantage of doing that is, suppose your pulse is strictly of a time limited nature. So you take s of t and this is time limited in nature. So in that case, you can use a correlator receiver. For example, you take a rectangular pulse like this is 0 to t. So the duration is limited duration. So in that case, you can use a correlator receiver. In case if your pulse is like Nyquist pulse, the duration is very long, then you cannot use correlator receiver. It is very difficult to implement. Therefore, whenever you have time limited pulse, then you can go for correlator receiver. So this correlative implementation becomes very easy when the signal duration is finite. See, we have discussed the matched filter in the BPSK case in the pass band. The so-called pass band BPSK matched filter a while ago in the last lecture. Therefore, you receive the signal, the pass band signal, and you do the multiplication with the locally generated pulse or local oscillator, and cos of 2 pi. No, this is it's a pass band pulse, right? So let me write down properly. And this is s of t times cos of 2 pi f naught t, and then this is given to the integrator. First you multiply and then integrate and dump. So I'll explain what the meaning of dump is. And then sample at t is equal to LT periodically, and then give it to the comparator, and the output of the comparator is positive, then you decide 1, and if it is negative, then you decide 0, bit 1 and bit 0. So just to recall from your matched filter receivers, when I say matched filter receiver, this is actually a filter filter. So when I say a filter with this impulse response, let's say g of t, it is essentially a tuned filter. You are tuning this filter to a particular frequency f naught. When I say passband pulse, this matched filter is tuned to the frequency f naught with a certain kind of transfer function. The transfer function let me call g of f, and impulse response is g of t. Okay, and which is dictated by the shape. Okay, that shape is let's say if it is a passband matched filter, then g of t is equal to s conjugate of minus t times cosine of 2 pi f naught t. So this pulse dictates the shape of the filter, and this shape is sitting at the frequency f naught. When you draw in the frequency domain, this is 0 and this is f naught. It is the shape of the pulse. Okay, this is my shape of the pulse in the frequency domain. And because of Fourier transform, this pulse s of t is going to be the actual transfer function, that is going to be g of f. You will get a g of f. Whereas in a correlator, I don't implement any filter at all. So in correlator receiver, there is no filter here. If you look at the figure, in this correlator, no filter. But in matched filter, there is a filter, and that filter is tuned to the frequency f naught, and the pulse shape of the filter is s conjugate of minus t. Once you take the Fourier transform of this pulse, then you'll get the transfer function. Take Fourier transform, you'll get a transfer function. But there is no such type of operation in correlator receiver. So all I do is take the incoming signal. This is my u of t, incoming signal, and multiply it with this local replica of the expected signal. This is a local replica. Local signal. Okay, and then you do the multiplication. Simply multiply in the correlator, and after multiplication, what you do is integrate. And the integration is a very simple operation to implement. Okay, therefore the first thing is you take u of t and multiply by the locally generated replica of the transmitted signal, replica of the expected signal s of t, and integrate. Then this is your correlator. That's it. So the implementation wise, it is very simple and it is very convenient. But there is one important point that one should remember. That point is, see, suppose you have a symbol interval, let's say 0 to t, then 2t, then 3t, and so on. You use the integrate up to this duration. Once the integration operation is over, then for the next bit interval, you have to reinitialize the integrator. That means reset the integrator at every bit, at every starting of the bit, okay, bit duration. Reset the integrator at the beginning of every symbol duration. Otherwise, what will happen if you don't reset, then that value also will be added in this one, so that will not give the correct answer. Therefore, whenever you multiply the two signals in the correlator and do the integration, once the operation is over, then you have to reset the integrator. Therefore, you have to restart the integration every bit interval if you want to share the same integrator from one time interval to another time interval or next time interval. Of course, we could have a number of integrators, but that is not a practical feasible solution for okay. So you cannot have different number of integrators for different time intervals, so that will not be very convenient. So what we'll do is we have an arrangement like this. So the simple arrangement I have shown here. Incoming signal is multiplied by the locally generated carrier, and then do the integration, and then once the integration is over, then you do the dump at the end of the bit interval. Dump means the process. The dump is nothing but you are initializing the integrator at every t seconds, and that's how we call this operation as integrate and dump. So this is u of t is your incoming signal, right? and multiplied by the local replica of the expected pulse shape s of t times cos of 2 pi f naught t, what you transmitted. And if it was a passband pulse, then it will be s of t cos 2 pi f naught t. If it is baseband, then one simply s of t, and then integrate the result, and that result will be and the result of integration at a t equal to lt every t seconds is what you are interested in. And if you want to share the same integrator over and over again, okay, over and over again, you must reinitialize the integrator every t seconds, otherwise it will give the wrong answer. That's how we call this operation as integrate and dump operation. So therefore integration is over t seconds. So the process is integrate over t seconds, then second thing is reinitialize. Okay, reinitialize this integrator every t seconds. So you start from 0 in the next bit interval, starting of the next bit interval. Now suppose I have a rectangular pulse like this. Let me take an example. Let's say this is my received signal u of t. Let us assume no noise. Now the replica of the signal also transmitted here. I'm sorry, let me draw properly. Like this. Okay, this is a locally generated signal. Multiply this guy and that guy. Let's say the amplitude is A and this amplitude is A. So once you do the multiplication, then you will have the pulse like this, and this amplitude is A square. The duration is 0 to t. This also 0 to t, 0 to t, like this. After multiplication, you do the integration. So the integration operation is up to this point, the integral output is 0, 0, 0, and it starts slowly reaching the point. Okay, and it goes like this. This is the output of the integrator. Output of the integrator. So this is a transmitted pulse. And this is a this is a transmitted pulse. Then this is a local replica, and this is after multiplication. And this is after integration. If the integral output is positive, then you decide that is peak, that is positive value, and you assume that 1 was transmitted. Therefore you multiply the 2 and integrate. Product will be a rectangular pulse again. So see, this is a rectangular pulse. Product will be rectangular pulse. Rectangular pulse again, and you build up the integration like that from 0 to capital T. Okay, and you want to sample this pulse. You sample, so you are sampling at this duration. This is the sampled value. Okay, so if one was positive and here both are positive, so the sampled value also positive. Here sampled value will be positive. Now if one was positive and the other was negative, then what will happen? Suppose let's say the transmitted pulse was negative like this, and the local replica will be like this. Then this is minus A and this is plus A. You multiply these two guys, then you will get like this. Okay, 0 to t, this is 0 to t, and this also 0 to t time t, and this is A square. Now you do the integration, then what will happen? It starts 0, 0, 0, 0, and when it comes here, reaches this point, then negativity grows like this and maintains. So if you sample the point, this is sampled value. This is a transmitted pulse. This is a local replica of the transmitted pulse. and this one is after multiplication, and this is integration, and this is sampled value. Now look at here, the sampled value is negative. So if your transmitted pulse was really negative and the replica is of course the same, replica you are not going to change here, it is the same for all incoming pulses. So then it will build up in the negative direction, so like this. So in any case I need to sample this value or the output of the integrator, I need to sample it, and then I must ready for the next integration. Therefore I must reinitialize the integrator back to 0 after sampling it. Once the sampling purpose is over, sampling job is over, then you have to reinitialize the integrator. Okay, and this reinitialize the integrator back to 0 after sampling it. So this operation is called a damping operation. Okay, that you are ready for, that means you are ready for the next bit, next integration or next operation. So this is negative and the previous one is positive. So let me say the output is like this. So it increases, then reinitialize, then it goes like this, then initialize, then increases like this, then initialize, then increases like this, then initialize to 0, then decreases like this, like this. So what happens here? Positive, this is negative, this is positive, this is positive, and this is negative. That means what? This indicates bit 1, and this indicates bit 0, and that indicates bit 1, this indicates bit 1, and this indicates bit 0. Therefore the sequence is 1 0 1 1 0 and so on and so forth. Okay, so positive pulse, and now this is negative pulse and this is a positive pulse. So you dump it again. Once you go sample the value, then dump it to 0 value. So this is a line of 0. This is 0 volt. 0 volt. So once you reach this point, after sampling you bring back to 0. And here also once you sample this value and bring down to 0. So this operation is called a damping or dumping operation. That means you are ready for the next process. Therefore I must reinitialize the integrator back to 0 after sampling it. So once you do the sampling, you should I must reinitialize the integrator back to 0 value. Okay, and then compare this value, and if it is positive, then you decide that is positive, and if it is negative, then you decide it is 0. So the rest of the operation is same. Okay, so the only thing is you are multiplying and then integrating and then sampling. Once the sampling is over, then you reinitialize the integrator and carrying out the operation. So the rest of the operation is same, like if you look at the figure, see, after integration dump, then I'll change the color, then do the sampling, and you put a comparator. So this operation is same operation after your integrator and dump operation. This operation is same even in your matched filter receiver also. And the very important point is this type of integration is impossible, almost impossible to do if your pulse shape is not strictly time limited. Suppose your pulse is like this, keep on goes up to infinity, then this kind of pulse you cannot do the integration, because you have to do the integration till infinity. So practically it is not possible, it is almost impossible to do if your pulse shape is not strictly time limited. This is time limited waveform. In such a case, you cannot use this correlated receiver. For example, the Nyquist pulse that we have been talking about, if they are using those Nyquist pulses, then integrate and dump is ruled out. You cannot use it. So we can't share the same integrator over successive time intervals, because it is taking long time to carry out the integration, and moreover the output of the integrator will go and disturb the next time intervals also. Therefore, whenever you have time limited pulses, then you can employ this kind of correlator receiver. So let me insert let me show you one figure from the textbook that I have copied. Insert view, then where is it, draw, then pictures, recent, then it's here, done. Yeah, now let me enlarge this figure a little bit. Yeah, now it is in the screen. Now it is visible. See, you have a pulse generator. Let me use different colors. You have a pulse generator. That pulse generator is giving the pulse S of t, and that S of t is contaminated by the noise N of t, and this V of t is received at the receiver. This V of t is the received signal. Okay, now the received signal is multiplied by the pulse generated, locally generated carrier or locally generated pulse. Okay, the both are multiplied here, multiplication operation, and then do the integration. So multiply and integration, this together is called a correlator. That operation is called a correlator. After correlator, do the sampling and give it to the polarity detector at time t equal to LT. So take the sample at every t seconds. When I say t equal to LT, what I mean is I am taking the sample at every t seconds. Okay, and if it is positive, then let me decide 1, and if it is negative, let me decide 0, or the other way also you can decide how you are designing your modulating waveform at the transmitter. So it doesn't matter how you are deciding here. It's all depends on how you choose your waveform at the transmitter side or in the digital modulation scheme side. Okay, so this is one form of implementing your BPSK demodulator or antipodal digital modulation using correlated receivers. Therefore, till now we have seen 4 methods. One is baseband method for BPSK. Second one is passband method, and the third one is intermediate frequency method, and the fourth one is correlator receiver. Okay, so I think that more or less covers BPSK demodulation or antipodal digital demodulation. So these 4 methods are used for antipodal demodulation, or I can say BPSK demodulation. So these 4 methods we have covered. Okay, in the next lecture I will talk about demodulation of other kind of binary waveforms. So this is antipodal antipodal kind of waveforms, antipodal kind of binary waveforms. But in the next lecture I am going to talk about other kind of binary waveforms, namely orthogonal waveforms. Orthogonal waveforms. The example for orthogonal waveform is FSK, frequency shift keying, binary orthogonal waveform. It uses binary signals, only 2 signals, binary FSK. And this is the most important example for orthogonal waveforms. Okay, so that we will discuss in the next lecture. So let me stop at this point. Thank you very much.